Did you know Africa colonized Europe for 800 years? We often hear about the Roman Empire and the rise and fall of Greece, but history often overlooks the impact of others, the forgotten rulers who left an indelible mark, a mark so deeply embedded it's almost invisible. This is the story of the powerful African empire of Carthage, present-day Tunisia, which ruled over present-day Spain, Malta, Sardinia, and Sicily for 800 years. Their reign brought not just domination but development. The Carthaginian Empire's influence on agriculture, architecture, and even language continues to resonate today. For centuries, this legacy has gone unnoticed, a whisper lost in the grand narrative of European history. But the truth is, the echoes of North African rule are all around us, waiting to be rediscovered. The question is apt: are Europeans trying to hide history? Why do we only hear about European and Western conquests and nothing about how Africa colonized Europe for 800 years? Why is this history silenced in our history books? We know everything about the rise and fall of the Roman Empire, Greece, the Vikings, and the British Empire, but little is known about this significant African conquest that shaped Europe's history and their DNA, giving rise to that lovely tan olive Mediterranean skin complexion. They have Africa to thank for it. Kilimanjaro News Network embarks on a journey to reclaim this often forgotten and untold chapter. A journey that will not only rewrite history but also reignite a sense of pride in the remarkable achievements of North Africa's forgotten builders. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to Kilimanjaro News Network. Click the bell icon to be notified for more interesting and in-depth investigations and analyses of events happening throughout the continent and the diaspora. Who exactly were the Carthaginians? The Carthaginian Empire emerged from the Phoenician city-state of Carthage, located in present-day Tunisia, North Africa. Founded around 814 BC, Carthage quickly grew into a powerful maritime trading empire due to its strategic location in the Mediterranean. In the 6th century BC, Carthage began expanding its influence through trade and colonization, establishing colonies and trading posts throughout the western Mediterranean, including Roman territories like Sicily, Sardinia, and Spain. The rivalry between Carthage and Rome intensified in the 3rd century BC, leading to the series of conflicts known as the Punic Wars. The First Punic War took place from 264 to 241 BC. The Second Punic War, from 218 to 201 BC, saw the Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca famously crossing the Alps with elephants, wreaking havoc in Italy. However, like all empires, Carthage's reign ended after the Third Punic War, which lasted from 149 to 146 BC. Despite its fall, Carthage left a lasting legacy in terms of trade, culture, and governance, influencing the development of the Mediterranean world for centuries to come. Carthaginians were skilled sailors and traders who weren't just conquerors, they were innovators. Carthaginians introduced new agricultural techniques, like citrus cultivation, forever changing the landscape of the Iberian Peninsula. They left a legacy in trade, urban planning, and cultural exchange that remained deeply embedded in the Iberian Peninsula even to this day. Fast forward to the 8th century AD. Another North African empire rose to prominence, the Umayyad Caliphate. Islam, a vibrant new faith, fueled their expansion. The conquest of the Iberian Peninsula, known as Al-Andalus to the Arabs, ushered in a golden age for knowledge and culture. Cities like Cordoba and Granada became centers of scholarship, philosophy, and artistic expression. Under Umayyad rule, the region experienced an intellectual and cultural explosion. Arabic scholars not only preserved ancient Greek and Roman texts but also made groundbreaking discoveries in mathematics, introducing concepts like algebra that continue to shape our world today. Magnificent mosques and palaces, masterpieces of Islamic art and architecture, stand as testaments to this era. The influence of the Carthaginians is evident in the Spanish language. Hundreds of words related to agriculture, science, and everyday life in Spanish have Arabic roots. North African influence permeated language, cuisine, and even architectural styles. The iconic courtyards, intricate tilework, and horseshoe arches that grace Spanish landmarks are echoes of this bygone era. It's humbling to see the lasting impact of African ancestors in Europe. The magnificent Palace of Alhambra is a testament to the cultural exchange and intellectual brilliance of that era. That cannot be said about European colonization of Africa, which is characterized by pillage, exploitation, looting, and divide and rule. The next time you walk through the streets of Europe, remember, the echoes of Carthage are still there, waiting to be rediscovered. It's time for Africa to reclaim its history. Far too often, Africa is portrayed in history books and Western-dominated media and narrative as an idle bystander. Africa, as portrayed by Westerners, started with the transatlantic slave trade, then followed by colonialism and ends with ravaged poverty and begging for aid. This twisted history is not only taught in European schools, but in African schools too. It raises a people to feel less of themselves and denies their rich history and culture. Africa must rise, pen in hand, and inscribe its own legacy. It should celebrate the unsung heroes, the queens, scholars, warriors, who defied the odds. Let us teach our children the truth, unfiltered and unapologetic. Africa has the oldest history in human existence. The African civilizations predate empires, span epochs. From the Nile to Timbuktu, from Great Zimbabwe to Axum, Africa shaped the world longer than any other. Our languages, our art, our resilience, they echo through time. Kilimanjaro News Network would like to hear from you directly. Shouldn't the African Union have a broadcasting service that chronicles Africa's history and serves as a reference for scholarship? Shouldn't the history of African empires, African contributions to science, mathematics, astrology, architecture, etc., be taught in all our African schools? Shouldn't the AU help create an African museum and library in all 54 states on the continent? Send us your messages. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Kilimanjaro News Network, the authentic voice of Africa. Scan our QR code and visit our website for more news coverage and unique analysis. Kilimanjaro News Network broadcasts in Swahili, Arabic, English, and French.